What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by My Music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I do have a new song out recently called Just Kids, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys, let's do another one of these answering your Splinterlands comments videos. There is a lot that's been happening over the last couple of days, and this probably won't come out at least for 24 hours. So some of this stuff might. That's what's funny with these videos is like I try to stack videos and or batch record videos, and sometimes the comments are already like out of date by the time you're reading them. But here we go. So Snowball says, I like it. It's also useful when the land cards sell out for the people who made too much Cinder and can't do anything with it. I know that there will probably be more land cards, but it's nice to have options. And this was where I was, the video where I was saying that Cinder should be accepted for the Wild Pass. So let's go ahead and jump down. Oh, so Keegs actually says those comments went so quick. And again, this video is going to come out a little bit later. So I already made a video kind of covering that. But yes, the comments are sold out now as of the recording of this video. So Dubstep Racing says, agreed, Cinder should be opened up, offering discount over DEC, in my opinion. Keep the burn mechanism running hot, indeed. So Josh, but I like this comment from Josh. He says, just have to be careful not to use this as a DEC replacement like vouchers became. And I agree, actually, wholehearted with you on this. The only difference is that vouchers are infinitely inflationary. We are always going to print new vouchers, right? Whereas the way that the team has designed it, where now cards can either be burned for DEC or for glint or merits, right? Glint and merits don't count towards this, but the ones that can be burned for DEC are ones that are not infinitely inflationary, right? The only ones like that are probably the most concerning to me are going to be, gold foil legendaries or just gold foils, for example, with the rewards. But every other card that comes into the game is going to be bought through packs, which means there has to be some buy-in to it, and we don't get that massive amount of DEC inflation. Again, there's always potential DEC inflation, but somebody's going to pay for it. And again, we can look back at the Chaos Legion era and be like, well, people paid for it then, and it just kind of still devalued. And you're right. But with vouchers, like that just became a steady stream of new DEC every single day in the form of 40,000 vouchers. So I agree with you. We shouldn't keep it that way, or at least be careful. But I would say that as long as the team, I don't want to open it up to everything. Cinder shouldn't be for everything. But I do think that there are a lot of opportunities to provide that because the two play very closely off of each other. Whereas vouchers didn't matter, right? Vouchers just became this massive faucet for potential DEC. So yeah, that's I agree with you on that. So Wolfshire says, the problem is the flywheel is for DEC SPS. Removing functionality for SPS creates less demand. We have too many different resources and tokens. Totally agree. It should be simple and everything should be giving utility to SPS. Totally agree. They keep releasing products before they are ready and thought through. Land was years in the making and has changed so far from what it was originally supposed to be. I would never have bought plots in the first place if they had said it was going to be whatever this whack-a-mole system is. They go too far in creating supply for tokens before they have utility. We already have tokens or gave tokens. SPS should be the fuel for everything in the game, and the fact that it's not is why this project will eventually fail. So you bring up a really, really good point here. I don't agree that the project is going to fail. I think they've actually made it through some significantly difficult times. But in terms of tripping over ourselves constantly, yes, I agree 100%. Now, I'll take this back to something that I continue to harp on, which is the fact that the only way that the team gets money, or a majority of the way the team gets money, is by doing these deals with the DAO that essentially recirculate DEC back into the ecosystem, which hurts the flywheel. The other way in which this is kind of messed up, and we were just talking about this earlier, but the relationship between cards and DEC, right? In a way, cards should have nothing to do with DEC. Ideally, right? Cards should have nothing to do with DEC. They should just be there and available. And if people want them, they can want them, right? And buy them or sell them or whatever the case is. But the burn value on the cards, I know that, this game was created 7+ years ago, but at this point in time, I'm glad that they've shifted a lot of that to glint because glint just keeps stuff in the game and you can't devalue everything because it's infinitely inflationary. But I do agree with you on a lot of what you said, just not that I think the project's going to fail because of this or eventually fail. It's just, you've seen this in their actions. They have divested so much of the DEC from cards, right? That relationship through glint, which is why I think glint is a great thing. But the problem is the way that they make money is by getting DEC and recirculating back into the ecosystem, as well as then releasing stuff that provides more potential DEC into the ecosystem. So it's just a liability. I agree that everything should be running off of SPS. Like, there is a way to do that. Again, in a vacuum, in a perfect world, there is a way to do that. I don't know that we can retroactively come back and, change a bunch of things. I think a lot of people will be upset about that, but I would hope that we continue to move in this direction. Now, I would say that the team is moving in the right direction by kind of divesting the DEC card relationship, the DEC voucher relationship, just a lot of these things, right? And so hopefully we continue moving in the right direction moving forward, and then we start to see that impact really come in for SPS. But yeah, it's a highly convoluted system that has had many missteps over the past, but I will strongly make the argument, and would love to hear your counter argument, that the last couple of years, with Matt taking over, with Dave coming in, like, the focus has been in the right place. And while we can't just wipe the slate clean, I do think that the team is moving very much in the right direction to clear up a lot of not just the game stuff, right? The game stuff has gotten better, but a lot of the economy issues as well. Yeah, we're never going to get rid of the complexity because there's just so much out there. But I do think that it's almost like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or 1 step back to take 2 steps forward type of thing. Like, there are certain things that we're going to have to clean up that will hopefully push things in the right direction. But, stay with us, Wolfshire. I hope, you've been around for a minute, so I hope that you haven't lost faith and can see the bigger picture of the right trend that we're heading in. Red X Viper says it would help Cinder pretty well. I agree. A lot of these are for the Cinder should be accepted for Wild Pass. Stack loves the idea. Noel Dory loves it, or would be for that. Thank you, International Travel Channel. So Billy J says, just make Cinder DEC. I feel like it's another confusing resource when it can be simple. So part of the reason that they had to create this was because if it was just DEC, people would go and spend DEC, and that doesn't affect or help the card values. So, or sorry, not the card values, but like the card inflation. So they needed to do something in which they could burn cards, remove that potential DEC, and have it have some kind of benefit. So I think Cinder works well for that. Again, I'm not for all these different tokens, but keep in mind, Cinder is not a token, right? Cinder it's not tradable. It's not, you can't buy or sell it. It's just something that you can get whenever you need it by taking cards, the ones that you either own, or you can go and buy new ones, burn it, and then get whatever it is that you need in game. All right, so Snowball says, I was hoping land cards wouldn't get snapped up so fast. Clearly a lot of demand for them. Yeah, I know. So Keek says, chests are the way. So this is on my pulling more jackpot. Yeah, I mean, but I just feel like I'm not going to get all of the cards that I need to over time. So I still need to do that video where I need to figure out what my focus is going to be moving forward for Conclave Arcana reward cards. But yeah, I'll make a note of that and try to do a video for it soon. All right, how are we doing on time? Oh, we're already at 8 minutes. I know you guys want these to be a little bit longer, but I'm on a little bit of a time crunch here, so we're going to try to keep it in the 10 to 12 minute range, just for this one. All right, so Pomp says, so basically you want to distribute energy for a while to the top SPS stakers and make everybody else pay. No, I don't want to distribute energy for a while. Take it a step further, distribute energy for a while to all SPS stakers based on their stake. In my opinion, energy for a while should be distributed based on collection power. Okay, so I mean, I've heard this argument for you many times. Let me see the counter argument that you're making against me, though. So basically, you want to distribute energy for a while to the top SPS stakers and make everybody else pay. Sure. Actually, you know what? You're right. That would be distributing energy for them because it would give them access to use the energy that they get for free anyway to play in Wild. That would be one of the benefits of being a top 100 SPS staker. And maybe that number's too high. I don't know. Maybe it should just be the top 50, right? Maybe it should just be whatever the case is if you're worried about that. But I do want people jockeying for position. I do want people not wanting to part with their SPS or getting more on a daily, weekly, monthly basis by looking to see who's around them and you know what, I kind of like this benefit, whether it's just for the flex or the added benefits. Now it's only a flex, but it's not, we don't even have that flex in the game properly. And I hope that this actually comes in through avatars, for example. It would be cool if there was something that you could throw on your avatar that shows that you are a top SPS staker, 100, 200, whatever it is, right? And I'm sure the team might be working on this already, just because this seems to be the direction that they're going with avatars, and so I would hope that they have that. If not, Matt, Nate, whoever, Dave, like, feel free to take that idea and run with it, because I think that'd be kind of cool, and that would, again, essentially just become a flex that people can then show off in game, have that status and whatever, and I think it'd be cool. But you get that added benefit, and not only is it a status, but it gives you something that people aspire to. Oh my goodness, this is the longest. Okay, we're gonna end on this one. This is the longest comment I've ever seen from Parham. So Parham says, if the Splinterlands team wants to get people interested, it has to stop printing battle cards like hell, so at least cards can hold its value or go up. Land cards selling maybe the key each year instead of battle cards. An SPS token gets supported to be at least 1 cent. Otherwise, each new player joins the game will lose his money and will leave. Okay, so first of all, Parham, I know I give you a lot of crap on here. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for taking the time to leave a comment, especially since I've asked you for this. Now, I'm not saying that I necessarily agree with you, but let's go through this. I'm going to dive into what you said here. So, if Splinterlands wants to get people interested, it has to stop printing battle cards like hell, so at least cards can hold its value or go up. Okay, so I used to have the same mentality as you on this, or same perspective as you on this. I just don't think that cards are ever going to hold their value. Like, in any game, like, only the top tier cards hold their value. Everything else kind of goes by the wayside. Like, and there's a bunch of Pokemon and Magic the Gathering cards sitting, in my parents' basement, whatever, where that like are collecting dust that prove that. So it's like every TCG is going to go through this problem. Yes, we were sold this idea that like cards could go up in value, but really it's only the ones that are top tier. The rest of them, not so much. So I do like the idea of what Cinder brings to the table, where all these cards that people don't want can be used to create new ones, and that actually helps to hold the value. Maybe they go up, right? But like your Hardy Stonefishes of the world, like people don't really want them, but they might if there's only 100 left, and we have a game that has 5,000 players, 4,000 daily active users. You get what I'm saying? So there's a lot of missteps that we need to overcome, but I think once we do that and can run very smoothly and efficiently, where like Conclave Arcana or the next set only creates the amount that we need. And actually, Rebellion is going to be a great experiment for this, right? To see what happens when Rebellion moves to wild format. And if there are ways in which the value can be preserved, because we have burned through everything we need to burn through for Chaos Legion, which is a tall order, right? I don't even know if we're going to do that. But if we do, then all of a sudden we start moving to Rebellion. Then we start moving to Conclave Arcana eventually, right? Or Alpha, Beta, whatever it is. So, yes, I understand where you're coming from, but I think, if anything, what the team is doing now is actually an interesting approach, where they're printing more battle cards, whether that's through rewards, whether that's through promos, whether that's through extras, whether that's through jackpot prizes, that don't have the negative impact on the game economy, again, through DEC, right? You can burn them for glint, that the other cards or old cards used to have. And because they are very scarce and highly desirable, they have almost that built-in mechanism where people want them just to have them to flex or to own them, right? Are they going to hold their value? I don't know. But I would say this. The cards that you would want to hold their value the most are probably going to be the ones that you open up in packs. And so everything else that's kind of given as a reward or for free, people value that differently. Whereas the ones that people buy in packs or buy, and again, you can make the argument that people are like, well, I bought this reward card from somebody else off the secondary market, so therefore that's the value that it has. And it's like, okay, but somebody else got that for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have that thing, but like the packs that people buy, the cards that people buy in packs, that is where you'd want to preserve the value the most, at least in my opinion. Now, you're saying here land cards selling maybe the key each year instead of battle cards. Again, I think land cards have shown and proven that they can make a very positive impact on the game economy, and I would love to see more innovations like that, whether it's land or other game modes or things like that. I mean, imagine like the next set of guild cards require Cinder as well, right? Or maybe there's like a special guild set where you can get the guild cards that you need now. Not guild, what am I thinking of here? Gladiator cards, right? But in the future, maybe there's like some cool premium like gladiator cards that require Cinder as well, or something within your guild that requires Cinder. So there's a lot of ways in which I think we can help burn a ton of the extra cards. And that's what I'm hoping. An SPS token gets supported to be at least 1 cent. I would love that as much as you. Otherwise, each new player joins the game and lose money and will leave. And this is the final thing that I'll say. That is extraction mentality. And again, I'm not harping on you. I think that is something that was sold in 2021 with play to earn, that everybody can come in, everybody can put X amount into the game, and they can get at least 1 point something X back, right? They can get more than they put into the game. And that's never going to be sustainable. And I do think that we really need to flip our mindset around this, where it's like, yeah, like there will be booms and busts because this exists within a crypto cycle and this exists within any kind of hype wave where the value of assets are going to go up and down, whether it's through crypto, whether it's through macro, or whether it's just through Splinterlands itself, right? People coming into the game, more money and liquidity being flushed in. Some people are going to take profits. Other people are going to buy the top, right? Other people won't. Other people will sell the top. So I think the idea here is this needs to have much more of a game, like the game just needs to be better. And I think the team is working well to do that. But not only that, like the people who are coming in need to be ones that understand what I'm buying is like more than the sum of its parts. Meaning that like when I buy a card for X dollars, right? If I buy a card for X dollars, if the card doesn't hold its value or goes up, the value that I got from that card isn't just represented in the amount that it's holding right now. The value is also in how much entertainment that I got, because this is a game and I can use it in a game. And I go to like either other video games or even like movies or, you know, TV show or whatever. It's like when you are entertaining yourself, you pay for something without any expectation that that entertainment is going to hold its value. Or even like a hobby, right? And I got to give a shout out to Walking Keys about this, because he's the one who termed it. And I think this is really the way that you should look at it. When you buy stuff for a hobby, you're not necessarily hoping to have like it go up in value. You just like doing it. You like playing it. And the cool thing is, like, yeah, I mean, there may be certain things that you could do if you put in a lot of time and energy where you could get more out of it than the amount that you put in. But for many people, especially if it's just like a casual hobby, it's just something that they like to do on the weekends, or, you know, a couple hours a day or a couple minutes a day, whatever it is. It's just something to pass the time, and they're willing to pay for it and not think about it. And I'm not saying like we want people to come and just mindlessly give money to this. No, it's the idea that there is a value exchange. There's a value proposition and a value exchange where people come in and they buy cards or they buy land or they buy assets, and it's just like, I like playing this game, right? And I want to like collect assets and resources, and maybe they'll go up in value one day, but the value is also a part of like my entertainment. And so I don't think that we have, you know, again, it's not your fault. It's not anybody else's fault. Like, this was just the idea that was sold with play to earn. And I think that idea is now dead and gone, right? Or if it's not, it should be buried soon. And hopefully we'll get to a point where people just understand, like, this is a game that is maybe not Web 3. Maybe it's Web 2.5 is how we should be looking at it. But it's something where if you go play Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone or all these things, you don't own the assets. You go and pay the same amount, but you don't own the assets. You can't exit the game. You can't get some value back. And on the flip side, the value of what you did get can't go up either. Right? And you can't take advantage of that. So I'll go ahead and leave it there. But Parham, thank you so much for leaving a thoughtful comment. I really do appreciate it. Man, this video ended up going a lot longer than I expected. But, you know, shout out to Parham for that. I really wanted to take the time because you took the time. So that's all I got for you guys in this video. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.